Here in Germany, the number of coronavirus infections has soared in recent days. The country's leading public health institute is warning that people are letting down their guard and not observing social distancing measures. Ironic, then, that Berlin is set to see its biggest demonstration against coronavirus restrictions. Thousands of people are gathered in the German's capital, central Tiergarten Park, for a mass rally demanding an end to all virus-related restrictions. Conspiracy theorists, anti-vaxxers, and right-wing extremists from across the country are among those attending. It comes as Germany braces for a potential second wave of the coronavirus. DW political correspondent Leonie von Hammerstein is at the protest, and she joins me now. Leonie, welcome. What's happening where you are?
Well, I'm standing here behind me. Tens of thousands, I'd say at least 15,000 people have gathered. You described it they call it a day of freedom, the end of the pandemic. They are celebrating the end of the coronavirus pandemic as authorities are warning of a new surge in infections. And right on my other side, you can see the counter-protesters that have also gathered here. The apparent difference, as you can see, counter-protesters are wearing the face masks, are keeping the social distance, whereas the protesters here at this march are not. Almost none of them are wearing face masks, and they've been shouting, the pandemic has never happened, die Pandemie gab es nie, and there was an interesting standoff between counter-protesters and protesters, both shouting at each other, Nazis raus, Nazis get out of here, because the people who are attending this march are expressing their discontent, their distrust with the government's measures, and are calling those that are listening to the government's lockdown measures, the coronavirus restrictions, comparing them to the people who followed the NS regime in the 30s. So this is an interesting conflict going on right behind me.
Yeah, and an interesting contrast between you wearing the mask and all those people behind you, obviously flagrantly not doing so. I'm really curious about those protesters taking part in the demonstration today. Could you tell us a little bit more about who they are?
Exactly. I talked to many of the protesters here, and there's really a wide variety of people who have come here from all over Germany, transported. Let's start with, I talked to a bus driver from Croatia who has driven protesters from the south of Germany up to the north. He is protesting the coronavirus restrictions that have impacted the tourism industry. Then I talked to somebody, or better, a protester shouted in my face, and we've seen that a lot of verbal abuse and attacks, up until physical. People are not keeping their social distance. Also to us as the press, who believes in conspiracy theory. He believes that Bill Gates is a very common conspiracy theory, that Bill Gates is behind the coronavirus and wants to forcefully vaccinate everybody, and the German government is helping him to do that. So we see a wide variety of people who are concerned about their parents, who are concerned about the restrictions in place because their parents are lonely, up until right-wing and far-right, right-wing extreme magazines and groups who are under observation by the authority. I saw someone from the Compact magazine who's been under observation by the authorities for its xenophobic and revisionist messages. So you can see there's really all sorts of people attending this rally. Definitely what we can say to sum up is they don't trust the government, they don't trust the government measures, and they don't trust the media. They don't trust the media of telling the truth.
Leonie von Hammerstein, thank you for that.
Unsere Forderung ist zurück zur Demokratie, weg mit den Gesetzen, die uns einengen, weg mit der Maske, die uns zu Sklaven macht.
Wir sind heute hier, weil auf der ganzen Welt nur noch wenige Wissenschaftler, die regierungstreu berichten, gehört werden. Es gibt Tausende, Abertausende Wissenschaftler, Ärzte weltweit, die werden nicht gehört, die werden mundtot gemacht, die werden zensiert oder als Verschwörungstheoretiker diskreditiert, obwohl sie ganze Universitäten geleitet haben. Dagegen protestiere ich. Ich möchte den Konsens, der früher möglich war und jetzt nicht mehr erlaubt zu sein scheint.
Arrêtez de trembler devant ce dirigeant criminel qui partout en Occident meurt de l'installer la peur. Ces magouilleurs déguisés en agneaux par devant, ils font tout par derrière pour nous la faire à l'envers. N'écoutez plus la parole de leurs médias corrompus, de ces journalistes vendus à des milliards à tous tendus. Nous n'avons plus d'autre choix que de prendre notre destin en main. Ne croyez pas que c'est perdu car ensemble c'est possible. Nous sommes des millions à vouloir tout changer. Si nous sommes des millions de demain. Simples incompétents, nous avons affaire à des tueurs, des gens qui vénèrent Satan, qui prennent plaisir de nos malheurs. Leur seule réponse à notre misère n'a aucun lien avec l'humain. Faut tout donner aux actionnaires, c'est leur vertige d'être malin. Si nous sommes des millions à vouloir tout changer, si nous sommes des millions de demain, si nous sommes
tout changer, si nous sommes des millions dès demain. Si nous sommes des millions à descendre dans la rue, si nous sommes des millions, rien ne nous arrêtera.